Hello, this is Young Inventors, a program that seeks to encourage the young minds to translate their innate intelligence and creative abilities into concrete realities through the presentation of projects in different fields of endeavor. Having rounded up on the various projects on offer in the highly scientific fields of physics and solar energy department of the Bowen University Iwo, today we beam our searchlight on another institution. Did I hear you say which institution? Well, you get to find out soon if you stay tuned after this time out. I'm still Treasure Abassi, your host. In 1977, the Lagos State government established the College of Science and Technology on a temporary site in Isola with just about 287 pioneering students. The college then had only 5 departments, mainly in the areas of business, financial management, secretariat, insurance, and basic studies. 10 years later, in 1987, the name of the college was changed by its founding fathers from College of Science and Technology to Lagos State Polytechnic, Laspotech. The Polytechnic, which has since become highly structured, presently operates on 3 campuses in Isolo, Surulere and Ikorodu, its permanent site and administrative headquarters, with an enrollment figure of about 50,000 full-time and part-time students in 5 distinct schools and about 56 accredited programs. Laspotech seeks to produce highly technical graduates in all fields of endeavor. That explains why the understanding and ability to use the computer is taken highly seriously. Here at the Central Computer Unit of the school, students and staff alike are encouraged to use the computer for data processing, problem solving, and project presentations. Mr. Ayodele Babatunde Iginla is the current rector.
At that time when we started off, there was also something that was in operation then during the Obasanjo days. We called it Nigeria National Diploma or something, NND. A 4-year program, but it was short-lived. Okay, that was how we started. We were even taking A levels then in the School of Basic Studies until that also fizzled out. So eventually, we now concentrated into what gave us 5 schools: the School of Agriculture, the School of Environmental Studies, School of Engineering, School of Management and Business Studies, and then the School of Technology, where we have in totality about 30 departments, all dealing with, technologically inclined programs. When we're talking about skilled personnel here, let's concentrate on the academic staff, because we also have the non-academic staff who do majorly the administrative work. Okay, but when we're talking about the academic staff, then we make sure that when bringing them in, we bring in round pegs that will fit into round holes. We make sure that they have the relevant qualifications needed for training the students that we are going to put them in charge of. Okay? And then we see to it that they are supervised by older academic staff. So those ones will see them at work, and they will be able to judge their competence, and areas where they lack the necessary attributes to teach the students. So we now assist them in developing themselves by making sure that they go for the relevant workshops, conferences, seminars to be able to boost their inadequacies. We believe in staying very, very close to our students. You know, the management style is not one that stays aloof from students. We like to come down to their level, discuss with them, you know, constantly ask them about their facilities, how convenient they are, things like that. Okay, so there is constant dialogue. Yes, we allow them to communicate with us easily by phone, everything. What we are doing right now is to make sure that we infuse. You mentioned modern facilities, yeah, but let's say modern technology into whatever we are doing. And you know, when we are talking about modern technology, it means we are talking about computer technology and information and communication technology. So that's what we are principally focused on now, because right now in the whole world, you are nowhere if you don't know how to use the computer and computer applications. And we want to make sure that we turn out students who, when they get out there in the industry, will be able to hold their own. You know, we want to see them in employment in such a way that their employers will be asking them, where did you get all this training from? Who are the people who taught you? That's our ultimate goal.
Since our immediate concern and interest is to showcase students' projects with science and technology inputs and backgrounds, we sought to find out how much of these are on offer in the different schools and departments, starting with the Arts and Industrial Design Department.
The department was born out of the basic concept of polytechnic education to train men and women in technological know-how towards filling the middle level cadre of the society. The department is made up of 5 basic units. We have textile design, graphic design, sculpture, painting, and ceramics. We, apart from the theoretical teaching we give to our students, intermittently we bring in professionals from the industry to complement our academic theories. And by so doing, we merge what is referred to as the town and gown to give the complete being for our products. In line with that concept, our department also evolved around training men in self-reliance, the ability to fit into different middle-level manpower of the society as relevant to arts. And ironically, you have to believe with me that though I said as relevant to art, but it has been proven that art is so relevant to every facet of human life. So it's in line with that we train our students.
In a nutshell, how would you describe the works of students that are ongoing in this background? Are they seriously just painting or mixed media or what?
It's a combination of all. In all the areas, like you can see at the background, we have textile design made from our local concepts of adire and batik. We have ceramics made predominantly from clay, eventually fired. Now the stage they are in is called the brisk stage. Furthermore, they will go into the conventional ceramics products that we all know, into glassware, and also we have paintings of various concepts and techniques made up of the conventional flat painting and the mixed media. Mixed media is simply a combination of 2 or more materials, and we also have works made of sculpture, carving, and casting.
Indeed, a good number of students' projects on offer in the department are in the area of impressionistic style of paintings, sceneries, landscapes, and situations depicting one form of event or another. Here, Jimo Olawale tries to depict a typical village setting with children united in play, while Rotimi Balogun and Kale Jaye Bashiru present the African native landscape and rhythm. Hear them present their projects one after the other.
This is my final year project, and I printed this in impressionism style. Portraying an African children playing together. This project is all about bringing simply means unity among the children. So you can see two women, women here. One is selling while the other one is trying to buy something from the other woman. And you can see the environment, the way it looks like. You can see a well-old houses, and you can see the trees, folders, foliage. Indicating our environment in African style. Actually, it's a pictorial composition. See the African children playing together. So it's all about unity, and friendship. We can also use this in a polytechnic, even wherever there is conflict between one or two people. You understand? You can easily put this, just to indicate love and unity. Before painting on this, we call this canvas, you prime it first with a glue. So you understand? So after drying, you replace it on your easel. So the material, the color, the pigment that I use for this is called oil paint. So I used oil paint for this work and painted in impressionism style.
It's an assignment on landscape painting. Then secondly, I'm working on to portray the realism, the mood of the day, which is depict the afternoon mood. And thirdly, the medium that I use for this painting, I prime my canvas. After priming the canvas, I now use the mixture of the glues and the emulsion. We call it gesso. After priming it, then I now stretching it. After stretching it, then I now start wash, because so that to cover the holes on the fabrics. After then, I now went to paint, which is depict the days, because the general given this assignment is being talking about go and paint, because the lecturer wanted to see the perspective, the distance on the work. That is what prompts me to do this. If we go out, from this angle, we can see the generator house being showing there. Then we can see the abandoned tanks here, and these are the trunks, and these are the activities. The people playing in the environment. They are trying to lecture themselves, while some people are trying maybe to discuss. This is the woman going in the premises of the environmental. This is close to the Fatmont environment. What I really wanted to do after this, because I still wanted to improve on my area perspective, and at the same time still wanted me to improve on my color, the application of the colors, and the way I can play with the colors very well, instead of street myself on realism too much, because I wanted to express myself the way I feel. That's the way they taught us that we should express ourselves the way we want it.
I painted this in African style because I'm an African born. So in promoting the African culture, so I developed this style to promote the African, so the use of motifs and the use of African musical instruments. Iyalu, shekere, omele, and gong. Iyalu in African style is used to communicate, passing messages, and gong is also using to passing message across the communities. So musical instrument is used in Yoruba land, and I use oil color to express myself on the support. So, and the use of motif in the background is also the African motifs, so to promote the African culture. So I use oil colors to express myself on the support. The support is also called canvas. I try to arrange some musical instrument to paint this. I draw and I put the paint. I use oil color to express myself, and the motives here is to enhance the works in a traditional ways.
Sunday Obichinedu's specialty is in the realm of sculpturing. His work, which he titles Setting Goals in Life and Actualizing Your Goals, stands out of the pack. Here he presents the project, which he says reminds him of his own life history as a growing young lad in the village.
The title of the work is Target, Setting Goals in Life and Actualizing Them. Yeah, it is modeled in clay and casted in cement. The rag you see here tied on the leg of the boy simplifies the challenges we face in life. He's wounded by some of the thorns in the bush, and he did not relent. Despite the wound, he pressed on, and there's a bird here that he has shot. This one shows that he has targeted a bird before, but he must not relent in it. He must not relent in his past glory. We must always forge ahead in life. So he's trying to shoot another bird again. Actually, it's all about my own life. Before I entered this institution, I made a target that, well, if I enter, I'm going to target a particular goal in life in this department, and that is what gives birth to the work. So when I was asked to do my final project, I decided to use my own life my own life inspired me to do the work. I'm coming from a very poor background, and there are a lot of obstacles on my way, a lot of challenges, a lot of things that are trying to put me down, making me not to become who I want to become in life. But that is the reason for this, the tying of the leg of this young boy. So a lot of challenges come my way, but I have focused in what I want to achieve in life, and that is why I am able to do this today.
Our guidance and counseling corner also offers you tips on how to set your life goals properly and work towards actualizing them through a proper choice of a life career, amongst others. Our profession of focus today is mass communication.
To study mass communication, it is important that the student or the candidate has language. Language is very important, especially English language. It's also good to have one vernacular language. If you are Yoruba, you must be good in Yoruba or Hausa or Igbo. And then for you to read mass comm, you must be very good in literature. We always make literature compulsory, because literature exposes you to a lot of things. It enables you to read a lot. Because for you to read mass comm, you must be able to read very well. You must like to read a lot. And then mathematics, though we require only a pass in mathematics because you require some calculations, for instance, if you are doing research or whatever. And then when you now come in, it's such a broad area that mass comm contains at least 5 professions you can go into. You can go into print journalism, for instance. You can go into broadcasting. You can go into advertising. You can go into public relations. You can go into filmmaking, or you can go into book publishing, for instance. So these are very wide areas that you can spend your whole life being a professional in these areas. So what it requires for you to go through now is tremendous hard work, because for you to study all these courses, at the beginning you have to do all of them. And then when you get to the 3rd or 4th year, that's when you now specialize. I want to be in public relations and advertising, for instance, or I want to be in a print journalist, or I want to be in broadcasting, or I want to be specialized in film. When you get there, you now specialize. So because of the broadness of the course, it requires tremendous reading. But I always tell students that you should not restrict yourself to just reading your textbooks or notebooks. These are an area that requires you to read a lot, read anything and everything. I always tell students that, look, it is important for you to love to read as much as you love to eat. You must read morning, afternoon, and night. And not just your books. Read magazines, read newspapers, read novels, read motivational books. That's what prepares you. That's what broadens your knowledge. Because what a journalist needs or a communicator needs is broad knowledge. You must know a little of everything. And then you specialize in one area. So when you now get out, the career prospects are very bright because all organizations that you know of, whether a school, whether a library, whether oil company, whether insurance, they must need a communicator, a public relations officer. And then you can go into advertising. People bring out products every day. Those products, for them to sell, they must be made known. And that is the job of an advertiser. So if you read advertising, you can also get job there. And not to talk of broadcasting. You know, we have new stations coming up every day, new TV, radio stations. You can even be an independent producer because, let's face it, Nigeria's economy is contracting. And we are producing more graduates every year. And I tell them, don't focus on looking for a job. Think of what you can do for yourself because mass comm is a practical course. So learn to be, you can start with as an independent producer on radio. It's cheaper for you to pay for airtime there. And if your program is good and popular, you'll get sponsors. And then from there you can move to TV and so on. That's how most independent producers start. Or if you read book publishing, you can start publishing, but you don't need any money to do that. You can go and meet somebody who has a book to publish. A lot of people write. And then you can get their book, they give you money and you do that for them. So we teach students things that they can do practically with their hands so that when they get out, if they don't have a job, they can all easily get something doing on their own. You can be a script writer. You can write scripts, independent script writer, and sell to movie producers. I used to tell them, before I got a regular job, I was writing scripts. In those days, there was no Nollywood. But I would sell my script to NTA and they would pay me 500 naira. That was more than a month's salary that I ever earned by then. It was a lot of money. So you can be a writer, write film scripts, and then you make your living. So, and eventually if you think you want to get a job, that also will come along.
I'm sure we have rekindled your interest in the arts and art forms through those wonderful presentations. And if our tips in the counseling corner are anything to go by, you should begin to set achievable life goals by making an informed choice of a career for life. Don't you agree with me? Well, on that note, we end today's presentation. If you join us next week, same time, same station, we'll bring you another exciting episode of The Young Inventors. See you then. And bye for now.